Hey guys, Smelling Roses here. Today we are out in the James River Face Wilderness, part of the Jefferson National Forest. We're in Rockbridge County in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. And today we're going to be hiking the Belfast Trail. Hey guys, Smelling Roses here. We're along the Appalachian Trail along Thunder Ridge in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia. You can see we have an excellent view here down onto the Arnold Valley and the Shenandoah Valley beyond. Take a look at that massive boulder field just over there. That's near a place called Gunter's Ridge, and that boulder field is Devil's Marbleyard. And that's where we're going to be headed pretty soon. Stay tuned. So today we're just going to be hiking a portion of the Belfast Trail. This is an awesome trail, guys. It's been a very long time since I've been up here, so looking forward to hiking it today. The trail is unblazed, as is typical in wilderness areas, but it's pretty easy to follow and it's a very popular trail. I'm getting a much later start in the day than I had wanted, so we're not going to be able to do the entire trail. Simply going to run out of daylight. But we should have time to hit the main attraction, which is Devil's Marbleyard. Massive boulder field up alongside one of the ridges. The trail does not actually pass through the boulder field, but as we approach it, we'll be able to see it through the woods, especially now with the leaves off the trees, and it's just a short little cut through the scrub to get to the base of the boulder field. This is not an especially long trail, but it is very steep, very rocky, and we're going to be looking at something in the neighborhood of 1,500 feet of elevation gain on this hike. So pretty moderate climb here up this ridge. We are in late November 2014, and there are a number of hunting seasons already open here in Virginia, and I do not suspect that there's any hunting activity going on in this area today, and that's why I'm not wearing any orange colors in my clothing, but I did take my orange vest and tie it onto the back of my pack just as a precaution. Anytime you're out in the woods in the late fall when there's hunting seasons, it's always a good idea to wear some blazed orange or at least some bright colors. So we've reached the official boundary of the James River Face Wilderness area. Check out the nice views through the forest. One of the great advantages of hiking in the colder months. With the leaves off the trees, we get great views through the forest that we would not normally get during the warmer months. Check out this awesome view, guys. That's looking back towards Thunder Ridge. Okay, so I decided to shed my outer layer. It's getting a bit warm. Crazy weather we're having right now is in the 70s. Last few days it's in the 60s today. And tonight this area is expecting 4 to 6 inches of snow, and temperatures not getting out of the 30s for the next few days. But that's to be expected in fall, especially in the mountains. You can get these weird weather cycles. Alright guys, so we continue to climb the mountain. We've gained considerable elevation. Just going to take a guess and say we've gained maybe 900 feet since we started. Take a look at the trail. You can see it's very rocky. Almost the entire trail is this condition, and it's very steep. So if you hike a trail like this, you definitely want to wear good solid hiking boots. This is not a trail that you can really do with just tennis shoes or something like that. You need a good strong boot that gives you good traction and protects your feet and ankles. The trail is very steep now, but you can see up ahead we're almost to the boulder field. You can see it through the trees there. And I'll just warn you guys now, when we get to the boulder field, you're not going to be able to fully appreciate the scale in the video. It's just an incredibly massive field, and some of the rocks there are just as large as your average car, or even larger. Devil's Marbleyard is generally stable, but it does experience rock slides from time to time. It's very dangerous in this area, and tons and tons of hikers are injured here every year, some of them seriously, and have to be rescued off the mountain. I do not recall the exact circumstances of what happened, but I do know there has been at least one fatality here in recent years at Devil's Marbleyard. Alright guys, check out this awesome view down this sort of drainage here. I guess I failed to mention earlier that this creek that we've been following along and crossing several times is Belfast Creek, and that's where the trail gets its name from. It has its origins high up on the mountain here. And you can see that we've reached the base of the boulder field. Check it out. Now, I told you guys that you cannot fully appreciate the scale of this place on the video. It's just not going to do it justice. And we've got some very steep terrain here. The Belfast Trail, you can see it right down there. It actually continues very steeply up in this area, and it kind of skirts around the boulder field. Alright guys, we're climbing very steeply now, and a trail like this is not for the faint of heart. Alright guys, check out that tiny little waterfall there. That's Belfast Creek, basically being born right up here amongst these rocks. Trail is no joke, guys. Okay, so you can see the trail sort of leveled off here just briefly in this area, and I stopped here to catch my breath after climbing very steeply through there. And the trail actually continues in this direction for, I don't know, maybe another mile, perhaps further, and just continues up through here, up through that saddle, and actually connects with the Appalachian Trail and also connects with some other multi-use trails, what I call horse trails. And if you combine this Belfast Trail with some of those horse trails or the AT, there are any number of loops that you can do of various distances. Unfortunately today, as I mentioned earlier, we kind of got a late start and I'm not going to be able to do any of those loops. We're just going to check out the main boulder field here, and then I'll head back down the mountain the same way I came up. Of course, the main boulder field is here in this direction, and from this point on, the Belfast Trail sort of veers away from the boulder field. So Devil's Marbleyard is over in this direction, and we can sort of boulder and climb up through here to get a good view of it and get out on it if we want to. I do have to remember that I am up here by myself this afternoon, and so I need to be very conservative and extremely cautious around the boulders. As I mentioned earlier, many hikers are injured here every year, and as you can tell by the terrain, getting rescued off this mountain would be no small feat. So I'm going to be extremely careful, but we'll climb up through these rocks here and we'll check out Devil's Marbleyard. Check it out, guys. Incredible. Just awesome. And check out the amazing view we have here. This view is sort of to the southwest. Alright, so I'm not going to name any names, but on one of my recent videos I was accused of wussing out, I guess was the term that was used, and all I can say is, who's wussing out now? So in order to redeem myself from the so-called wussing out, I said I was going to go hiking in some steep, rugged terrain. I guess where the billy goats go. So I guess I'm redeemed. Smelling Roses is not wussing out on this one. And I guess anybody who thinks we're wussed out, well, let's see your videos. So anyway, I know it was all just in good fun, and I can take it. Man, this place is awesome. It's been a long time since I've been up here, and I'd just forgotten just how amazing it is. It's just hard to imagine the geological forces that were involved in making this place. And as I mentioned, the boulder field is relatively stable. You can see that most of the rocks do have moss growing on them, and that's usually an indicator of a stable boulder field. But there are occasional rock slides here, and just a couple of months ago I understand there was a pretty big one here, and there were some hikers here when it happened, but they reported that no one was injured. Everyone was able to get clear of the rocks that were rolling downhill. So anytime you're in an area such as this, you always have to sort of be prepared for an exit route and be aware of what's going on around you and upslope from you. If you are bouldering with partners or multiple hikers, you want to stagger yourselves on the slope so that if any boulders are kicked loose by one hiker, it's less of a chance that it will roll downhill and take out one of your buddies downhill. So guys, way up there on that distant ridge is Thunder Ridge. That's the Thunder Ridge Wilderness Area. The Appalachian Trail crosses over that ridge there. And if you remember back to the opening scene of this video, that's where that was shot from a few weeks back. And there was a pretty good view of Devil's Marbleyard from up there. Okay guys, so I'm going to carefully make my way down through a wash here, and the Belfast Trail is down there, maybe about 80 feet in elevation below where I am now. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but you can see Belfast Creek down there, and the trail is down there by the creek. We'll just pick up the trail and I'll be heading back down the mountain the same way I came up. Tell you what guys, it was an absolutely beautiful afternoon today. Perfect time to be on the trail. We're in late November 2014, so we're getting into the winter months, and we certainly probably will not have many more days like today, if any, for quite a while. So I'm making my way back down the mountain, and got less than a mile now to go to get back to the parking area. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate your views and your support. Please be sure to like and comment. If any of you guys also use Facebook, please check out the new Smellin' Roses Facebook page. And you can also follow me on Twitter. And I'll post links to both of those sites in the description below the video. Okay guys, so as always, I'll see you on the trail.